The Mercedes-Benz Interview Lounge.
Hi, Matthew.
Hi. I was waiting for Nate to usher me in.
Well, yeah, Nate's not doing his job today.
No, that and our intern has a relationship problem, so she was asking Matthew for advice.
You know what, Matthew, when you visit, it's like when Dr. Oz visits.
Forget it.
Like, the other day, Dr. Oz was here, and one of our interns walked up. She pulled her left pant leg up, and there was like this massive bloody wound. She's like, what do you think of this? I'm like, would you leave the doctor
We
alone?
pull our pants down and bend over.
Yeah.
Dr. Oz, what's this?
I have a hernia right up here. Can you? And I also have like a hemorrhoid thing. And some people bend over in front of him. So it's not fair for you, who are an expert in relationships, to have everyone like get in line and start asking you questions.
Well, actually, what was said? Who's the lovely lady outside who asked me a question?
Was it Samantha?
Samantha?
Yeah.
Samantha actually touched on something that I wanted to talk about today because she said my love life is in a shambles.
Let's talk about. Can we bring her in?
Yeah.
Does she want to talk about her love life in the shambles?
I feel bad now because I've thrown her under the bus.
Well, no, but if she doesn't want to go
Here's what she said to me. She said my love life is in shambles, and I said why? What's going on? I said, is that because you don't have anyone or because you have someone and it's a nightmare?
Yeah.
And she said a bit of both. And I sort of feel like that's half of the country.
Right. The relationship's good, but you ask me in an hour, it's bad.
Yeah, or the relationship isn't really a relationship.
Yeah.
I'm doing this thing. What are you doing with a guy right now?
A thing.
A thing.
Okay, by the way, before you get started with this, you don't have to talk about this on the radio.
I'm fine.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
I mean, you're an intern here. You're still going to pass with flying colors. So Samantha's
I'm
here.
getting a free session, so it's cool.
Well, we use the word complimentary.
Yeah.
Because the word free is so cheap and tawdry.
Yeah, complimentary is a lot more
I know-
fancy.
I'm not cheap and tawdry, am I, Elvis?
Yes, you are.
Okay, fair enough.
But in a sexy way. All right, so Samantha pulled you aside on the way in, Matthew, and what did she say to you?
She said, my love life is in a shambles. And I said, why? Is that because you haven't got anyone or because you've got someone and it's kind of a nightmare? She said both. So what's the situation?
It's like, you know the word situationship?
Yeah.
Times a million.
So he's not committing to you?
No.
Well, explain that. Explain that. What does that mean to you?
So so we've been on and off for like the past 3 years.
Right.
And there's been no commitment, but it was like, it was unspoken kind of.
Huh.
So.
What
but
does
every
that
time,
mean?
Like, it was supposed to be okay with no commitment at first, but I felt like maybe after a certain amount of time, it would start to move forward.
So you pretended you were more okay with being casual than you really were?
Yeah, and then I turned psycho because I tried to hold it in for so long,
Yeah.
and then
And then you built up all this resentment.
yeah,
And then how did Psycho come out in that moment? How did you go off the rails when you suddenly it built up to a breaking point? What did you do?
I just screamed, "I'm not doing this anymore!"
Right.
With a few more words that I can't say on radio.
But you know what? May I just say something? You didn't go psycho. You did what any of us in our right mind would have done. You're fine.
Okay.
I don't. First of all, don't think that you're odd man out for reacting or responding the way you did. Seriously.
I just felt like it was psycho because it's so different from the normal chill that I usually am.
Good.
Yeah.
Sometimes we need a kick in the
Yeah,
ass, and
of
maybe that's
course.
what he needs. But go ahead. I ruined everything. Go ahead.
You went psycho. Listen, here's the thing for you. This situation wasn't working for you. You held it in because you were afraid to ask a question that had an answer you were afraid of. So you
What was the
avoided-
question? Say it
The
out
question
loud.
was, what are we? Where is this going? Are you ever actually going to take this thing seriously? Is there any chance you're actually going to commit, or are we going to do this dance forever? Right?
Exactly.
Yeah. And you didn't want the answer, so you didn't ask the question.
Well, at first, then I did ask, and then I got questions that helped me prolong. I got answers that helped me prolong.
So I always love the things that guys say. What did he say to prolong it?
Yeah, what little snack did he give you? You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Snack.
And by the way, women do this too. It's not just a
Of
guy
course,
thing.
of course.
Go ahead.
So he lives, I guess the best way to describe it is unstable lifestyle, like moving around and stuff a lot.
Mhm.
So it's like, well, if you've been around throughout everything, that should be enough.
Wow.
Oh, meaning that when he's moving from place to place, he still has you around, so you
Right.
should be satisfied with
Right.
the fact that he hasn't gotten rid of you?
Right.
Right. So he's lowering your expectations.
A little bit.
Right.
Lot
And
bit.
hoping that you'll buy into that.
Yeah, I can assume
You know,
that's what's going on there.
Matthew, it sounds like she's in like a really long fling.
Well, that is the story of relationships right now.
What is that?
Is that people are in these long-term situations with people that they're not actually in a relationship with. And I here's the question I pose to people, because I think it's coming up all the time right now, is how do you get over someone you never really dated? And there are tons of people right now who are grieving someone that they never had. I think there are 4 stages of like importance in a relationship, and we have to give each one its proper place, because a lot of us are crying over something we shouldn't be crying about. There's admiration. That's just when there's some hot person around who you really like. They've got great qualities. You're really into them, and you're like, oh my God, I'm obsessed with this person. Well, this is kind of silly, because this person may not even know you exist, may not have any attraction toward you, but you've made them really important. That's admiration. Right. The next one's chemistry. Chemistry is when there's actually a mutual attraction, right? And plenty of people are convincing themselves that it's so sad that they're not with someone that they have mutual attraction with. Well, that's not important either, because you can have mutual attraction with tons of people.
Right.
So far, Samantha, these 2 apply for you in this person.
I don't think so.
Oh, wow, you've already? You're okay. Go ahead.
I think we've gone beyond both of those.
Okay, so here's the third stage of importance, right? It's not chemistry, because chemistry isn't a good indicator of like, oh, you're going to be a great partner to me. The third one is commitment. Right? I admire you, we have chemistry, and you're willing to commit to me, and I'm willing to commit to you. That's the third stage. Now, that's an important stage. He's not got there.
I was going to say that we're dancing on a thin
exactly.
line between stage 2 and 3.
Exactly. And then the 4th stage is, I admire you, we have chemistry, we're committed, and we're compatible. You love me the way I want to be loved, and I'm able to love you the way that I want to love. And so few people have that. And what I'm seeing everywhere is people crying over somebody as if they were in stage 4, but they're not.
But I have a question. If maybe you're not in stage 4, but that doesn't take away from maybe you feel something so deep that you feel like maybe at least you yourself was connected to them more than they were.
So let me ruin that for everyone.
Okay, good. Oh, thanks, Matthew.
Let me tell you about the castle. Okay,
I had the castle.
The castle, yeah.
Castle.
I had a live event for women in Dublin, and there was a woman there who said, she said, you have to help me. I am obsessed with this guy. I'm so in love with him. He's so perfect for me. We have such a great... I said, what's the problem? He's in a relationship.
Oh.
I said, okay. Now, to be fair to this woman, she wasn't trying to break him and his girlfriend up. She was basically asking me, how do I get over this guy? How do I stop feeling so much? Like you said, Danielle, how do I stop feeling so much for this person who's not giving me what I want?
Right.
I think of chemistry and connection, which is the thing we all overvalue, as 2 people coming to a plot of land. This plot of land has a lot of potential. Maybe it's on the hillside, maybe it's next to a lake, maybe it's got a beautiful forest view. It's an amazing place to build. Now, it's still just a plot of land, right? That's all it is. Now what you need is 2 builders. You need 2 people who actually are willing to construct a castle together. And that takes time, and it takes effort, and it takes investment, and it takes 2 people who really want to do it. And as you build the castle, it becomes more and more beautiful. It becomes more and more yours. There are secret passageways no one else knows about, rooms, places in that castle that are beautiful. Over time, the weather starts to erode the stone in beautiful and unique ways that make that castle unlike any other castle in the world, because it's yours. You can't build a castle on your own. And I see people everywhere right now. That woman, she's talking about this guy and thinking about him and investing in him, right? The same way you are right now. And here's what that is you on a plot of land, hammering. And you're doing it on your own. Meanwhile, there's some builder who's gone AWOL, who's not even there. And when a guy sends a text and says 6 weeks later, thinking of you, and he's barely been around, that's the equivalent of a builder calling into the construction site going, how's the castle going? Meanwhile, you're there building the castle. It doesn't work like that. People have to start valuing the castle over the connection. Because the connection you can find again. But a castle, That's worth something. And a castle you can only get by finding a genuine builder. You don't have a builder, you just have a connection.
Wow.
Wow.
Another way to look at it.
So you're going to call him today and say, I don't want to do this anymore.
I don't want to build a castle with you.
I do love your hammering sound effect. To the point where, you in a relationship with someone, you build a castle with them, and then you build a moat around it to keep all the assholes out. Anyway.
So now we have two of Matthew Hussey's deals. We have the
butterfly
and now we have the castle.
The butterfly and the castle.
I love that. Well, so that's the thing. So
it's true, though.
I know, but what you do is you keep looking for signs that that person that you're waiting for to come around is about to come around. And just when you think he's about to come around, he doesn't. I'm assuming. I don't know.
Yeah, somewhat. Because in his defense, he's like not a bad person at all. He's like great with family and everything. But
that's what makes him so dangerous, by the way.
I think so.
Because it's easy to ditch someone who's mean to you.
Right.
Right. But someone who's actually not a bad person will slowly ruin your life forever.
Wow.
Damn, Matthew.
Well, because you let them.
It's the truth. Because listen, I had another woman. I was in Sydney recently. I had a woman in my seminar in Sydney who said to me, when we have conversations, she said, literally, I've been doing this dance with a guy for 2.5 years. He won't commit. We're just in this casual thing. She said, when I'm with him and we talk about it and he talks about how he can't commit properly, he cries. Like, he gets upset. Now, that's because he knows that he's not strong enough to walk away. He doesn't enjoy hurting someone he cares about by not giving her what she actually wants. So he feels like crap all the time. Right? He's not happy, but he's also not strong enough to leave. And that's why you have to be strong enough, because he's not going to be strong enough to do what you need to do for your life.
So you don't think that you can like teach someone to be a builder?
No, here's the thing. You have to create stakes, real stakes, because the moment that you're staying there and someone feels like you're still going to be there no matter what, it's like that all you're doing is giving drugs to a drug addict. Right? You're just continuing that cycle because he's addicted right now. He doesn't want to leave. Life's easier when you're around. And he will allow you to do this for as long as you let him. Right? Your time is not as precious to him as it is to you. And listen, I know it's heavy. What is it? 8 in the morning? We're going to die.
Wow.
We're going to die.
No.
We don't.
We built a castle and now we're going to die.
No, we're going to die. We don't have the time we think we do. And we're all going around in these relationships where we've allowed someone to barter us down to something we never wanted in the first place, right? Because we don't feel we're worth something more. I was thinking about in a marketplace, what happens when someone says, this is $100 and you say, I'll give you 70 for it. And they say, okay, that's because it wasn't worth 100 in the first place, right? But if someone tells you, if I say, I'm worth $1,000 and you say 800, I say, screw that.
Yeah.
I'm not doing it because I know my worth. And the reason men aren't taking women seriously and vice versa is because people aren't taking themselves seriously, right? They don't think that they're worth something more. So they stay in something that they're not happy with because they think that's what they deserve. But this guy right now, no matter how great he is, and he could have the best intentions, by the way, and still be selfish. He could have the best intentions and still ruin your life. That's the truth. It doesn't have to be a bad person, and that's what will really mess you up. He's a nice guy. I don't want to give you the impression he's a bad guy. He's a nice guy. He might be a nice guy. It doesn't mean he's not going to ruin your life, right? Because you're going to allow him to waste your time. And anyone who's not really committing to you, by the way, is not giving you their best. You don't even know what he's like in a real relationship. That's the truth. You don't know what he can actually be.
True.
Right? Because when a man suddenly decides, I'm going to give everything, this is it, I'm going to go all in, he's a different person. Mm-hmm. So you're dealing with someone who's not even giving you 100%. He's giving you 60% maybe at best. And you're taking that. Meanwhile, someone who's right for you is losing years with you right now.
Wow.
They're losing time with you. Life is not long enough when you find the right person.
So Samantha came in today.
Reality check.
I think I'll just go into the show and do my internship today, not knowing the avalanche would fall. Well, look, so you heard a lot, process it, you know.
And build a cemetery behind the castle.
Samantha, all the best to you.
Thank you. I'm going to need the good luck.
No, you have it. You have everything already on board. You are already wired for success. You just gotta push the right button.
And Samantha, remember, because trust me, I want you to go away. I'm gonna give everyone a mission right now, listening to this show. I want you to go and have the conversation you've been avoiding. And if someone doesn't give you the answer you want, you leave.
I'm going to do it today.
That's it. Do it today and listen to me, because tomorrow you'll already doubt it. You'll get freaked out. He'll text you. He'll say something sweet and loving, and you'll feel the need to respond. I want you to remember, just because it hurts, it doesn't mean it was the wrong decision.
So one more time, the mission for everyone today is to have the conversation.
Have the conversation with the person that you know is not giving you their all. You know is not actually committing to you. And by the way, you don't have to have it in a crazy emotional way. One of the greatest things, I'm a big fan of like charming candor. Like be honest with someone, but still be charming, still be attractive. You're not sure what you want? Okay, I get it. You're not sure what you want. I can't make you sure. I think you're great. I think you're awesome. And by the way, there are plenty of women out there who will go and do the casual thing with you or will accept this from you because guess what? You're hot and you're attractive and you're great, right? That's why I like you. You've got all these great qualities. But I like myself more to be in a situation where someone's not actually meeting my needs. So you should go and do that, but you should find someone to do it with, and there will be people who do it with you. I'm just not one of them.
That's a wonderful letdown.
You see what you did there? By the way, let's just break that down for a second. What did you do? You complimented him as you ditched him. You said you're great. And not I hate you. I got no hatred towards you. I don't hate you. You're great. And someone is going to do this with you. But it's not me. And now, all of a sudden, you elevate yourself above everyone else in the world he can go and find right now. Because he's like, well, but wait, I want you. Well, look, I want to go all in because I'm excited. I'm excited about the journey. And honestly, it's boring to be with someone who's doubting it constantly. That's just boring. I want to be with someone who's actually excited about where we're going, right? So if that's not you, great. That's wonderful. And I appreciate you telling me now. Because you just saved me so much time. I appreciate you for that. But I gotta go.
And then you turn around and you do that walk.
I have to
When you
twitch
walk
really
away.
hard, but
Oh,
make it
God.
still look natural.
That's right.
And for
Samantha-
anyone who's doing this today, by the way, I have a guide for you. I literally created a guide that's completely complimentary that gives you 3 ways to get over the heartache
Oh, wait,
of
wait,
leaving
hold on,
someone.
I want to go to this right now.
Wow.
Where is this?
Let's end
3secretstolove.com.
3 seconds or secret?
3secretstolove.com. And this is going to help you not only move on from a past situation,
With the number
but
3.
go out there and find the
or
right
word
situation.
3.
The number 3. 3 secrets to
So
love.
this is going to help
Secret.
us end situationships
.com.
in America.
Yes.
That's beautiful.
Yes. Life's too short.
It
Why
is.
wouldn't you go for exactly what you want?
3 seconds
Thank
to
you,
live.
Matthew.
3 seconds to
live.
love. To love.
Why
Oh,
is
to
this
love.
so hard for you?
3 seconds. Wait, 3 secrets. 3 secrets
you
to
usually up this early?
love.com.
Every breath is so challenging. Samantha, you know what you've done here just by coming in and having what you thought was a casual second with Matthew Hussey, and you came in and we turned this into a huge thing, which went way over. We have to take a break. But so many people are texting in saying, who is this guy talking and how does he know my life so well?
Wow.
Matthew Hussey. Samantha, thank you.
And thank you, Matthew. Thank
All
you,
the best to
guys.
you.
Thank you.
Chelsea. Let's see if we can get her on here. Hello, Chelsea.
Good morning.
So you are engaged. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you. Now, how long have you been engaged?
About 6 years.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Okay. Oh, okay. That happens. Now, how
Yeah.
long have you been with this person total?
About 7 years.
Okay.
And we have 2 little ones. We have a 5-year-old and a 3-year-old.
Oh, congratulations. Congratulations,
Thanks.
Chelsea. But you do have a question or a thought for Matthew Hussey. What's that?
I just wanted to say thank you, really. So after watching videos and listening to the show, really made me step back and realize I was running on like 50%. I lost myself between, the kids and being engaged and working. But we were falling apart very bad, and we were just there for each other for the kids.
Yeah.
So we actually got a sitter one weekend and went away for ourselves and talked about everything, what we expected from each other. And it was to the point before that I was about ready to move out because we were both no longer happy. We were just constantly arguing. And stepping away like that actually helped us a lot. And he straight up asked me what can I do? What can we do to get things back going to where they were?
Wow.
I love
Wow,
that.
that's
What
amazing.
you know what? Very cool. You know,
Yeah.
because that could have turned out totally
Oh,
different.
totally.
Yeah, and I mean, Chelsea, it's just kudos to you for actually creating a new vision for your relationship, because most people will never do that. Most people, I will always remember the most arrogant group of people that I ever had to give a speech to. I got hired for a wedding conference thing where there was it was all brides to be. And the one talk was on flower arrangements, one talk was on cakes or whatever, and then there's me. And they bring me in and I start giving this speech on how to, turn on your partner, how to, have a great relationship, how do you do. And I just remember getting these faces looking back at me as if to say, screw you, I'm getting married.
Right.
Yeah, no, they're there to choose a cake.
Yeah, I have found my person. I do not need to know anything else. Thank you very much. And I already know when someone's got that mindset, that's a problem, because we should never stop trying to add value to our partners' lives. I really think we should wake up every day and ask ourselves a simple question: what's one thing I can do to add value to my partner's life today?
What a great idea.
Yeah, that's awesome.
It has me thinking.
And not from the point of view of what will add value from your point of reference,
For them.
but what will do it for them.
Yeah.
So, Chelsea, when did this conversation happen between you and your fiance?
About 2 months ago.
Yeah. And so you see things still really, really, really good. Much better than they were.
Oh, so much better.
I think that's
We did-
great. And Chelsea, I'll say this before you go, that remember, when we fall in love with someone, we fall in love in 3 dimensions. We fall in love with a 3-dimensional character. If over the course of your relationship you become 2-dimensional, that's when you start to lose it. That's when you start to lose the attraction or the passion. Stay in 3 dimensions and someone will stay addicted to you.
Explain that.
Because look, I remember my mum for a long time. My mum's my best friend. For a long time, she identified as a mother, right? Now, there's nothing wrong with that. But she also lost other parts of herself that had always been there. She wasn't always a mother. She's a woman. She was a friend. She's someone who loved, going on vacations and had hobbies. And she lost so much of that. And when me and my 2 brothers went off to university, she had a kind of loss of identity with that, because where's my identity now coming from? And she was forced to go and rediscover herself and look at new things that she could get interested in and so on. Started spending more time with her friends, and she became 3-dimensional in a way that she hadn't been for some time. Doesn't mean she wasn't the most incredible mother in the world. She always was, but that's not all we are. And I think that we get addicted to whatever is the thing that we're most comfortable with. Is the same way a comedian gets addicted to being funny, and that's what they do. Everywhere they go, they tell jokes. Well, that's not all you are. We have to start saying, I might be comfortable with this part of my personality or the way I get significance, but there are many other things that make me me. And that's what's really going to hold someone, is we're 3-dimensional.
There you go. Hey, thank you, by the way, Chelsea. Thank you for your call. She's been engaged for, what'd she say, 5 years? For 6 years now?
Yeah.
No, moving on to the marriage. I mean, I've been engaged since September, which is this month.
Yeah, not September.
Since July. How long can I drag this out? I mean, when you're seriously, we actually chose to get married next September in 1 year. But I know people who have been engaged for a dozen years.
Yeah.
So do you put that down to apathy? Is it laziness, or is it
I don't
that
know.
there's some doubt in them? What do you think?
I don't know. Or look, why even get engaged to begin with if the relationship is going swimmingly well? Hold on. Daniel, if the relationship is going swimmingly well, why do I want to mess with it?
Yeah.
All right, well, we get engaged. Now we're engaged to be married. Well, why do we want to get married? Engagement's great. I mean...
I don't think this is not your case, but I think a lot of people will tell their significant other poop or get off the pot.
Right.
And so they go, okay, fine. If I get engaged to this person, that'll shut them up. And then
Oh, no,
and
that's
shut them
not
up for not you, but I'm saying, and that'll shut them up for 4 years.
So you're buying
3
time.
years. Right.
I'm excited about it. We're excited to just move on to that next. We want our castle with a moat so people can't mess with us. We want crocodiles in our moat to eat people if they try to mess around with us. That's what we want. Hello, Kathy.
Hello.
Hello, lady. Now, you've been in a relationship for 4.5 years. He hasn't proposed, and obviously, you know, you guys are going through a lot. What are you going to do?
Well,
You know he has a ring, right?
I know he has a ring, but I don't know why he's not proposing.
You're not engaged?
We're not. No, not yet.
But he has a ring.
So do you talk about it?
I do, and he says he wants to marry me. He says he's just bad at it. He doesn't know how to do it.
Wait, what? He's bad at proposing?
What, does he do it often?
He doesn't have enough practice?
I don't get it.
I told him, just throw it at me. Like, I don't care. It doesn't have to be grand, but in his mind, everything has to be perfect.
Well,
and
there's obviously a stumbling block there. But let me ask you this. What if you asked him to rehearse? Okay, look. I know you have. Does he know that you know he has a ring?
I think he does know.
Okay, well, anyway. Say, hey, look, one day, when all the stars align, you're going to ask me to marry you. I know this isn't official. Let's act it out. How would you do it? And he's probably going to look at you and, no, you're out of your mind. I'm not going to do that. At least you're having that conversation, and he's going to start to visualize what it could be like, and maybe that'll give him over the hump. Or he doesn't want to marry you. Well, there is that.
But
I know.
I mean, you got to be careful, Kathy. I think we've got to start having more honest conversations with each other, and stop making certain subjects, off limits, and stop thinking that we're going to kill the romance if we talk about it or whatever. We should be talking about our goals with our partner. It's the same way with children. If you want children one day, talk about it. If you want them one day soon, talk about it. I really think that we have this everywhere. There are people avoiding questions that they're afraid of the answers to. And we have to start having these conversations more. And Kathy, I would say to him, look, getting married is really exciting to me. It's one of the things, if it's one of your life goals, be honest about it.
Yeah.
I'm really excited. More so, I'm excited about marrying you. And I have no part of me that is overthinking the wedding day or the proposal or any of that, because that's not the important part. The important part is I want to be married to you. The idea of you being my husband and me being your wife is exciting to me. So are you overthinking this because you want it to be all perfect, or are you overthinking this because there's something holding you back in a way that's not holding me back? Have that conversation with him and get him to be honest. Men aren't great liars, but they are great avoiders. So if you allow people to avoid, and this is true of everyone, if you allow people to avoid conversations, they will, but confront them with conversations, and they actually don't lie as much as we think everybody does.
So what do you think of that?
You're really, really smart.
It's not just an accent.
No.
I got told in the break that I might be, my accent does make me sound very smart. I'm hoping it's not just the accent.
It is. It's just the accent. Kathy, best of luck. And thank you for calling. Thank you for listening to us.
Thanks, Kathy.
Hey, okay, before you leave, I want to ask you one more time. Oh, first of all, 3 secrets. What are you throwing things at me? That's it. Yeah, 3secretstolove.com. It's the number 3. 3secretstolove.com. Believe me, it's not going to charge you anything when you sign on. I think you'll find a lot that's very, very beneficial in just 3littlesecretstolove.com. 3 secrets.
And that's great for anyone who is going through the grief of breaking up with someone or having broken up with someone. And for anyone who wants to get back out there and meet someone new, it's literally going to give you 3 steps to doing that.
Now, if you want great music, go to 30secondstomars.com. Hey, but again, you proposed a challenge to everyone listening a few moments ago.
Yes.
About having the conversation. It's poop or get off the pot time.
Commit or quit. I think people, I want to challenge everyone right now. This is not a therapy session. This is a call to action.
Now, this could go beyond relationships, like love relationships.
Yeah.
This could be in business, a friendship, anything.
Yeah. If you're going to do it, go all in. Otherwise, don't bother. If you're listening to this right now and you are in a relationship and you are not giving your all in that relationship, now's the time to start giving your all. And not saying, well, my partner doesn't do this for me. My partner doesn't do that for me. Give your all. Give everything to that person, because you don't get to ask for what you want unless you're giving everything you can possibly give to that person. If you are in a position right now where someone is keeping you in limbo, where you don't even know what you are, Now it's time to get them to either commit or for you to quit. And you can have agency over that. So have that conversation today. Don't put it off another day. In fact, call them up right after this show. Call them today or go see them. Have the conversation with them. And if they don't give you the answer they want, be chill about it. But it's time to go and let them see that you are serious.
And Matthew means it. Don't call now because you're listening to our show.
Right.
After the show.
I don't need your relationship to be my competition.
No.
It's bad for business.
After the show, make that call, go see them, but do it because I promise you, the most dangerous thing in the world is regret.
You know what?
And your pain right now of leaving someone is not going to be nearly as painful as the regret that you're going to have later on in life. Men you can replace, women you can replace, time you cannot.
And let's call it what it is. I mean, if this is the stage you are in your life where this relationship thing is really where you want to be, that's great. If you're in college or you're just casually dating, you're not in the mood for the relationship. You know what? Here's what you need to think about. If you're dating someone, what do they want? You could be like, I just want to date casually.
Right.
But they may want something serious and you know about it. Then it works the other way. You need to have that conversation with them. You need to say, look, I know that you want something more out of this than I'm ready to do right now. And I just want to let you know that.
Yep.
Because you don't lead them on. You may not even be aware that you're doing it, but a lot of people are.
Yeah, and I think we have to be, one of the things that I think none of us are until we learn better is careful with people's hearts. And we have to be really careful with people's hearts because it's so easy to hurt people just by avoiding a conversation. And we can say, it's not my job to have the conversation. They're not asking me, but we know. And we have to stop pretending we don't know that we're hurting someone.
Well, Matthew Hussey has a great website, 6stepstoeatinghealthy.com.
No, it's no.
Is that yours?
That is not my website.
Oh, no, here it is. 3secretstolove.com.
3secretstolove.com.
So you've been very busy with all these websites. All right, Matthew Hussey.
3 Doors Down. Good music, too.
We love it. Thank you for coming in today.
Thanks for having me.
And now we have 2 stories, the butterfly story and the building your castle story.
The castle.
All right, thank you, Matthew.